Hello, this is Marcos Arroyo. Second video post for Anthropology. The species I chose to go with was the orangutan. With their size, they can be females 4 foot 2 inches, about 100 pounds. The males could be up to 5'9", with 260 pounds. That's how big they'll get up to. They generally look like they have really long, lanky arms, big, thick bodies, thick necks, both legs, and they also have, the males will have like big cheeks, flappy cheeks, and they also have big throat pouches, mainly for calling, things like that. They like to eat fruits, mainly, almost all the time, but they've been known to eat things like bark, vegetables, honey, insects, and bird eggs too. They'll eat those. They like, or what else do they have? With in terms of their area, they're like more in the forest areas because they're more arboreal. More specifically, they're in primary forest and old secondary forest. They've been known to be found in mountainous regions, swampy, low lakes, grasslands, things like that. But generally they're up in the trees. That's where they spend most of their time. Because they're up in the trees so much, they're mainly geared for arboreal locomotion. They have opposable thumbs with their opposable big toes on the hands and feet. So it's all generally for grasping of the branches and climbing up trees. When they are on land and more terrestrial, whatever, in those times or cases, they're not known to walk as knuckle walkers like the other great apes. They considered to be walking as fist walkers. So honestly, I don't know the big difference with that, but that's what they're considered for. Their group sizes, they're solitary mainly, mostly all the time, and so they're not considered too social, but they've been known to be social when they interact amongst individuals. The females generally are the most social in that they stick around with their offspring for about the first 2 years in the nurturing phases. After that, they kind of split and go their own way. They're known to be a little bit more social up until they reach adulthood, in which they're very solitary. The ladies will have their own kind of home area, territories, if you will, that kind of overlaps amongst other random girl spots. And there's usually one single male, adult, dominant, who kind of controls the whole area. He's kind of there for the mating purpose. Other gentlemen or guy orangutans will come here and there to try to get in their scuffle and take over the territory here and there. But that's usually it. The adult females are known to be between friendly, avoiding, or antagonizing. That's amongst other females. With the males, they're usually generally hostile towards each other, the dominant ones. The more adult ones, if you will. In terms of their communication, they have different kinds of calls. They have the males have their mating call, and it's the same with their throat pouches. It's the same thing that they use with the scaring of rivals or things like that. They have what's called a rolling call that they use their lower gut for, and that's usually to intimidate other creatures or orangutans. Actually, that's amongst themselves for same sexes, things like that, not just the males. They have a kiss squeak where they kind of pucker their lips and they suck in air and it makes a kissing sound. That's actually for when they're more annoyed, maybe not so much angry. They do, the infants have a little hoot sound. That's when they're distressed. And they also, all orangutans have been known to do, they blow raspberries. and that's like, so I don't know why they do those, but they do those too. In terms of like the habitat that I would make for them, just based off of the idea of the ones at the San Diego Zoo, if you've ever been there or seen it, I like that one. It's a big area. It mainly has a lot of poles and jungle gym type stuff, not so many trees. I'd actually put in a few more trees, kind of make it a little bit more natural for them to be able to hang out in trees. They like to build nests on their own. They actually do that every night. And I know that with them being enclosed together, they actually become more social. And I read a couple things that said once they are released into the wild, they're the most social because of what they learned or whatever, and they're out there in the wild doing those. Really quickly, other couple interesting things I found out about: they eat rocks and minerals for nutritional purposes, and things like antioxidants and curing of diarrhea. They use a couple plants for anti-inflammatory purposes, like for balm. And they're very intelligent. They have been they've been studied on how to do sign language, kind of things like that, or at least signs to communicate with. They've been doing that. And I like the orangutans the most. They're more solo. They have, but they're very smart. I think that's why they're kind of endangered, because they're not so much grouped together. But yeah, that's how that goes. Well, thank you guys very much. Have a good one.